Hello everyone, what is cooking all you good looking people out there, and welcome to another exciting episode of GeoGuessr. Here we are in yesterday's daily challenge location. A very cool spot indeed. I mean, look at this. We got a big water, and then we got this giant, massive hill leading all the way to the ocean. It's crazy how tiny the people are this far away. And there you go, a lot of people up here. I guess this is where you park your car, but my god, you have to go all the way down there. Seems like there should be, like, I don't know, some sort of like sled you could ride all the way down this and crash into the water. That could be a lot of fun and extremely dangerous. So I guess it's time for me to guess where I think it is. And I didn't really, I mean, I don't know. This place is so wonderful. I'm gonna have to guess like a, you know what? Let's go with the Caribbean on this one. Where in the Caribbean? That's a good question. I don't know. Let's go with Dominica, and let's place it right there. All right, and the answer was Michigan. It was Michigan. It was up here, Sleeping Bear Dunes. All right, well, there you go. That's I'm gonna admit that is really surprising. 1638. All right, here we are in today's daily challenge location. This is a very cool spot. It is a bridge crossing a river. Okay, I mean, that doesn't sound so interesting, but I mean, look at this. It's a pretty sort of, well, the bridge doesn't look like it's that well maintained, but definitely vehicles do seem to cross it. And we've got two people over here. Seems like they've been on quite a bit of a hike to try and find this area. You know, it's a pretty nice place, a great place to just sit back and relax. I wonder if there's any fish in this water. It might be cool to try and cast a line down in there and see if you can catch anything. But just a very nice country place, and the coolest part is that it might be tricky to figure out where this is, and that is today's daily challenge, meaning it's up to you guys to tell me where in the world you think this is. All you need to do is put your guesses down in the comment section below and tell me where in the world you think we are. In tomorrow's video's comment section, I announce the winner, the person that guesses closest. Now, there are no prizes, but there is glory to be won, so if you have any idea where in the world we are, then tell me. Well, okie dokie, here we are in the main section of today's video. And today we've got a viewer challenge, one brought to us by someone who's new to sending in challenges. That would be Loris2211. Thank you so much, Loris2211. Now, this one is a challenge with a specific theme, and that specific theme is a specific location in the world. We're going to be visiting a country that we don't often visit at all, that being Latvia. Latvia, very, very cool. Now, I've got a few challenges that are focused on specific regions, usually sometimes smaller regions or countries and things like that. So what I'm going to do with those is I like to alternate between ones that are varied challenges that are, you know, throughout the whole world, and ones that are maybe down to a specific location, just to add a little bit more variety. But I do think it is really cool to check out countries and places like that we haven't done too much of. Of course, I don't know much about Latvia. Guessing that guess it's in Latvia really would be sort of a big accomplishment for me, unless I saw something like a flag or something like that. Just making the guess, yeah, I think this is in Latvia, and getting that right, I'd feel that is pretty good. Now, we already know these are all in Latvia, so really, it's really gonna be. If it's a big city, I'm probably going to guess Riga. If it's not, I don't know where I'm going to guess. But let's try it regardless. Let's see how it goes. Thank you so much, Loris2211. And boom, if you are interested in creating your own custom challenge, look down in the description below to find a step-by-step guide on how to create your own custom challenge. Also, you can find the link to this particular challenge itself if you want to play along. Challenge accepted. Okay. This is beautiful. Wow, it's a really big bridge. And oh, yeah, look at that. It's like a cobblestone or like a stone brick road. That is, or a brick road, I guess, is what you might call it. Very interesting. You know, I don't see those too often. I like how there's a different color in the middle, you know. There you go. It's divided into two lanes. I wonder how old this bridge is. Honestly, by the looks of it, it's not too old, actually. This looks like a relatively modern bridge. I mean, it might not be, but it does look. It's in real good condition. We got a really nice river. There's a little step over here. I mean, it's like a little waterfall. That's very cool. And the buildings they look really nice as well. Looks like a fun place to be. I mean, even the sidewalks are like all decorated and stuff. People are taking pictures of the Google car, stopping by. It looks like it's a relatively brisk area. I mean, this kid's wearing a coat and stuff like that. I like that. I like the idea of a climate like that. Man, even wooden shutters on the windows. Those are pretty sweet. And let's go down a little bit. I mean, this is a really nice looking community. I mean, of course, the whole country can't be like this, because if it was, then this would be some kind of magical wonderland. And although Latvia, I'm sure, is in parts a wonderland, it's got to be like everywhere in the world where you got to find some normal places, because this really is spectacular. I like this. I mean, look at these buildings. They're just really beautifully decorated. I mean, even like the wear on this building, you can definitely see like the building is a bit worn. You can see there's been new cement, plaster, whatever it is, has been put around this door to reform it. I mean, even this, I mean, it looks good. I mean, I wonder if there's a story behind the wear on this building and others, but I don't know. It gives it a certain look. I mean, look at this. There's like this moss growing on top of this thing. That looks good in and of itself as well. This is a good-looking place. It really is a good-looking place. Well, we can move along. We can actually... Oh, there's more to see. I wonder if this is some kind of, like, heritage site, or if this is, like... If this is not, like, a heritage site, and this is a place where normal people live... No, this has got to be some kind of... maybe not a World Heritage Site, but maybe some kind of, like... culturally important, preserved place, because this doesn't look like a normal place would look, right? This has got to be somewhere special, I'm assuming. You can see there's a little bit of stuff that's blurred out. I don't think it's automatically blurred. It may be blurred as per certain requests, a lot like places in Germany are. This is a really, really good place. Wow, I like this. I like this a whole lot. We seem to be leaving a little bit more of the area that we were in before, but I mean, it's still a good looking. I mean, look at this, the sidewalks. Look at these bricks, multicolored bricks that are laid out in a nice little pattern like that. Sidewalks over here, where I live in Canada, don't look that nice. And you got a good mix of cars. Even this giant boulder over here. It's like Fred Flintstone drove his car all the way here. And you can even see, ooh, look at this. It's like a typical Russian-style car that we often see. All right, awesome. So I guess it's probably time for me to guess where this is. I mean, I could try and take a look and try and really find out where we are by... This Lithuania. By looking, but I kind of think... I don't know about that idea. We could be around here, like this bridge right there. Do I think that's? I mean, that's a big road though. No, that's the E22. It's a big road. I mean, it just felt like this might be like a city like that, but maybe we are. No, that's too big. What about no? I feel like it's gonna be on this river over here. Something like this. Do I think this is it? All right, let's try it out. Let's say this is where we were, right there. I think that might be an okay guess. And the answer was not even close. It was a place called Kuldiga, although I don't really know if that I is really pronounced that way. There's a line on top of it. I don't know how that changes the pronunciation of it. But yeah, okay, here's where we were. It is really nice. It doesn't seem... There's no like markings that this is some kind of sort of a preserved heritage site. Just looking at it from a distance, it just looks like it could be any other place, like right here, or yeah, maybe a little bit bigger place, like around over here. Wow, that's really beautiful. 2715. The next place we're seeing is also quite nice. I mean, this building clearly is being restored, and it really should be, because it's very ornate in terms of all this kind of stuff that's been added to it. It looks like there's definitely been... the thing about it is I don't really know too much about the history of Latvia. I mean... It might be foolish to assume that there hasn't been conflict. I assume that there really has been probably a lot of it. I would assume. I mean, it's definitely gone through a lot of. I mean, it was part of the USSR, right? Yeah, all these countries here were part of the USSR. So that's certainly something that happened recently. And before that, I don't quite know what the history is of Latvia before the USSR, but I mean, that would be like the last, the USSR would be like the last like 100 years or so. It'd be like 100 years ago when the USSR formed. I feel like it's before World War One, like 1901 comes to mind, but I might be wrong about that. I think Latvia was part of that. But then before that, definitely there was a lot of stuff, but I absolutely don't know that kind of history. I mean, that's not something that's taught at all at Canadian schools. We don't learn about the history of sort of Eastern Europe at all, really, for the most part. Especially sort of modern, maybe a little bit of more sort of ancient history, a little bit of a gloss over all that stuff, but nothing really too modern, which is kind of sad. I mean, we do learn about like World War One and World War Two, but obviously, I'm fairly certain everywhere learns about that in school, don't they? But yeah. No, very, very cool. I mean, we kind of left the interesting part. I'm going to return to start location. I wanted to see a little bit more about this place over here. It does look quite cool. There's that building, and do we see some other stuff? Okay, so actually this says something over here. What does this say? This describes this area over here. That's not really going to help me, is it? This is a nice house, pretty modern looking. Let's go down here, and do I see anything that I really think is going to help me? No, not really. Okay, look at this. Okay, so this is the name of the place that we're in. Let's see if we can find... Damn it, I always zoom into the wrong country, don't I? Let's see. I mean, I don't want to zoom in too far. Maybe I won't need to. Maybe I will need to. It's really hard to tell. Can go all around like this. And it looks like this. Ah, there you go. Found it. That's the nice thing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Lithuania, this looks like a pretty small town. It still appears on the map. Maybe the city is in Latvia. My bad. Maybe the city... I don't know why. I don't actually get the two countries confused. But I have to admit, I don't know that much about both of them. That's the thing. I mean, I'm sure they're quite different, but I don't know that much about Latvia or Lithuania. They're two countries that starts with L in a very similar part of the world. They both end with IA, and they're both countries you don't really hear too much about. I mean, Estonia feels a little bit different. Estonia, honestly, to someone who doesn't know anything about Estonia or its history, and I know Estonia's history is quite different to that of Finland, Estonia feels like a kind of like Finland country. Just because the language looks similar, and I mean that's really it. I mean it's close to Finland, it's very close, but I mean that's pretty much it. So in my mind, when I make associations between country, I group Estonia and Finland in a category together, and I group Latvia and Lithuania in a category together, which might be completely wrong. I mean, the languages might be similar, they might not be. I don't really know. I just don't know a lot about them. Let's go down over here, and what do we find? I'm gonna say we were right there in front of this thing right there. Let's make the guess, and the answer was, right place, but completely wrong area. 6348. At least I remember what the Latvian flag looks like. I believe I do, because the Latvian flag is pretty cool. Whereas the Lithuanian flag is the kind of thing where I don't actually remember what it looks like. The Latvian flag is the like dark red and white one, right, with the stripe in the middle. I think that's it, and that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool flag. I like that one quite a bit. But I do not remember what the Lithuanian flag looks like. I might remember it if I see it. I feel like it's a wild, vivid, primary color type thing, oh, there you go. See, that's the Latvian flag I know and love. That's a memorable looking flag to me. See, I remember that. If you put it on a big wall with a ton of flags, that'll be one that I remember. The Lithuanian flag is one that I don't think I'll necessarily remember on a wall, actually. It's like blue, green, and red. No, that's not those colors. Blue, green, and red. Oh, maybe it is blue, green, and red. Yeah, okay, blue, green, and red. That's a possibility. It might be those colors. Because I don't really... yeah, all right. It might be some yellow instead of one of those colors, or... I don't really know. But there you go. I mean, it's not yellow, green, and red. There's a bunch of other... Maybe it is those colors. See, I don't actually know. It definitely is a bit confusing to me. But, enough about Lithuania, which we're not in. we're in Latvia, which again, another really nice looking place. I've got to admit, I'm liking the look of this country so far. It's a good looking place. A lot of buildings that are, they're a lot of beautiful buildings. Not so many boring looking places. I guess there must have been sort of a big building boom around the same period at some point, because all the buildings look, I mean, maybe they're not all similar in age. Maybe they really do all different ages. This is a cool place. A lot of weird, like, cows, painted cows around. Maybe Scottish Viking. And we're in a place that no, it's a hotel. Well, that may be the name of the place. I mean, maybe these buildings all come from different periods in time, but I mean, to me, they all seem sort of, they all seem old and unique, and they all seem sort of cool. I mean, I don't ever see buildings that look like this. There's no building that looks quite like this. Oh, look at this big glass thing. Although, around where I live. Although, this is the kind of building that, does look like buildings you might see in the Soviet Union, or in the former Soviet Union, should I say. But then there's a lot of like other, so that might be different than what I'm talking about. But like cool buildings, like this building, that looks really good. I like this, and like all these kind of houses and all the other ones that we saw at the other places. I mean, those are really cool. I like when they do this to buildings, actually, when they add like modern additions like this. I like when they do that. That's cool, actually. I mean, maybe it ruins the building, I don't know, but maybe it makes it a little bit more interesting. So there you go. And I mean, again, look at the street. Wow. I mean, it's very pristine looking. I mean, it looks like we're in a, like, I don't know, that seems like a big enough port. Seems like a big enough city. And yet the road is like this nice brickwork that's been done. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's something to be said about this idea of just decorating the road. I mean, the roads look so boring around here, but it's like they've done a lot of work on making these all look nice. Is that a thing that's widespread, or is this only, or is this right here the standard? I mean, this looks like a normal, this looks like, well, maybe not a normal street. This looks like a pretty beaten down road. So maybe this is more the average. But seriously, I mean, all this nice brickwork is really good. And here you go. We have something that used to be there. So I don't know, where are we going to be? Well, I can zoom in to the right country first of all, and I'm going to say we're in the water. Let's say we're... Alrighty, sorry about that. I don't know if you guys noticed a little pause there. You might have. Actually, I think this might have been the name of the place that we were. So, okay, let's go and guess right around here. I think it's a good idea. Boom! Yeah, that's right. Okay, now we got a panorama. This has got to be the capital city. And wow, okay, let's zoom in a tad and just check it out. Wow, again, yeah. The buildings look very nice. I mean, there's this cool thing. Check that out. A big spire over here. A cool little island. Wow, what is this thing? Wow, I wonder what that is. That's a cool looking building. Lots of other, I got some modern ones over here. But man, I mean, this looks like a very, very picturesque. Well, it's got like a little town vibe, but not really. I mean, these are all like these are pretty tall buildings. Like 4, 5, 6 stories. Jeez. Again, very, very cool. And whatever we're on is actually quite a big building of itself. So I guess it's quite obvious where we are. We are in the capital city, or at least I think we are. And I think we're over here. And I think, okay, so what do we see? There's this. That's like this train bridge that's there. And this is that bridge. So we are on top of this church. There's like a big spire here. Or we are somewhere like, oh no, we're probably on top of whatever the name of this thing is. So there you go. That's where we are. Yeah, pretty much 64-69. Hey, 10 points off the maximum, but that is the magic score. Okay. And finally, we find ourselves in, oh, wow. Wow, talk about Latvia having really great looking buildings. Jeez. What a fantastic looking place this is. Oh, look at that. That's an interesting sign right there. Wow. What fantastic looking buildings this place has. I like it a lot. Let's go down, and what do we see? We can see lots of different places. I mean, this has got to be a this is a fairly big city over here. This looks like, this is a big city. So is it a different big city? Well, what's the second biggest? I mean, it's here, here, here. I mean, we could be around over here. But I think we might be in the same city, actually, that we were before. It's a bit hard to tell. If I go down this way, do I... No, that doesn't really tell us anything. We find the water. Okay, so now that we've found the water, what can we tell about the water? Yeah, we are in the same city. Ah, okay. There you go. Very nice. So that means that we were over here. We were on this side of the water. We were on island side, and we were somewhere like in the interior. Very cool. Let's return to start location. In fact, let's go look around this area and see if we can see... no, not that. It's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for this. I'm looking for something over here. Something on this side. And it's quite a big building. I don't think it was on a roundabout. No, there's no roundabout here. I feel like this building is big and unique enough that it would have some sort of sign on it. But as far as I can tell, I can't see anything of the sort. We do have maybe some kind of, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm going to guess like right here, or yeah, right here or something, or right here. I don't know. I mean, really, I don't think that's where we are at all. But, you know, I can still guess that. I think that's totally fine. I mean, I think we're close to there for sure, but I don't think we're exactly there. So we can go look down this way instead, see what we can find. And we got like a sort of an area over here, maybe a market of some sort. Big old buses. We can go through the tunnel. Yeah. All right. Well, I think I've formed a pretty good opinion about Latvia now. Yeah, all right. The place looks good. It's a good-looking country. A place that I'm not sure it's the place. It's a place that I would like that I would sort of dream of living, because I really like the idea of living in in a place that, I don't know, that maybe looks a little bit more like very modern. Although this city does have a lot of that. I don't know. I mean, whenever I think of like moving somewhere, it's always moving to a really big city. And I think the charm that Latvia has, it has a lot of like very, I mean, even these cities that we've seen today, like this one over here, I mean, it didn't seem like that big of a city with that many people. I mean, it appears on the map, which is great, but it didn't seem like it had that many people. It seemed like there's a lot of small cities. I mean, this is quite a big city, but is it big enough? How many people live here? And maybe I'm not necessarily convinced. It's probably not bigger than the city that I currently live in, so that actually might be, So I think that might mean that Latvia is out for me to move to. But given the opportunity to go there on some kind of a trip, I think I would like that a whole lot. Although, you probably shouldn't base your recommendations of travel or what is a good place to where I would move, because honestly, where would I move? It's not too many places. There's not too many places that I aspire to move to. Although I really do like the idea of living within a rather big city. I think that's very cool, and I like it. I like that quite a bit. So I think I would only really move to a bigger city than the one I currently live in, which is about a city of 1 million people or so, although it's quite spread out. My God, I should tell you. But the buildings here are really nice. You don't see buildings like this. You don't see buildings like we got this around where I live, and you probably, for the most part, don't see buildings like this in this country at all. So it's really cool to see Latvia, a country you don't really hear much about when it comes to being here in Canada. I mean, you don't hear about Latvia too much, but it's cool to see that it is a really, really nice place. Oh yeah, I should probably make a guess, right? Let's make the guess, and the answer was, yeah, that's where we were, 64. And there you go, 28,332. I kind of forgot what I was doing, but okay. And, oh, well, there you go. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and as always, I'll see you guys next time. Aw, yeah. Cue the royalty-free music. 3, 2, 1, go. Come on, everybody, get on your feet. Stand up, look at the screen, and repeat. I'm gonna like, rate, comment, and subscribe. I love watching Ather vids all of the time. Thanks for dropping by and spending the time. Hope you've enjoyed, and let's get on with our lives. Oh yeah. Thanks to Kevin MacLeod for these awesome beats. Woo yeah. Have a good one.